What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 184 of Park to Prem here with Town Lord Town. Today we start on the profile of Remy Chalet. He looks very angry in his regen picture, but the reason we start on him is because as of late, he's forced his way into the first team, a player who I've just not been able to ignore. I mean, when you look at his average ratings across the board, he's been absolutely exceptional to start the year, and unbelievably, the man who is making way, I think, is going to be Gautier, which feels mad to say when you consider that we signed Gautier for as much money as we did. You'd say, on the face of it, he is a better player, and you know what? To an extent, he may well be, and it's not like we are bringing in Remy Chalet and tossing Gautier to the side. At the same time, Remy wants a bit more football. He's playing very, very well. I mean, when you compare the two of them here, they've been playing the same role, in the same position for the team. The man on the right has simply been playing better, and so he is going to get a nod in today's games. And I say games because it's a live com double header. We're not going to cut out the bit in between because they are back to back. Yes, we are back, and it's the Premier League action. It's going to be Chelsea, who are in 6th away from home, followed by Arsenal at home, who currently lay in 3rd place. The Arsenal 4th place, brain just automatically associates those things, I assume. But yeah, two pretty big games for us in the context of this year. Following on from that, you can see we've got I don't want to say a disinteresting period, but there's a few not so massive games. Man City, I guess, have climbed up to 5th now, but we've played them so many times through this year, and well, through all the years of this save game. When I say this year, I mean Football Manager 2020. I feel like I could go through the entirety of next year's Football Manager without having to play Man City again, and I don't know, these two games to me feel like the two to be fearful of. So we're going to do both these games, and the next episode is probably going to be sometime in January. I've not really 100% decided yet, and I will warn you now, there probably is going to be a little break before next episode, maybe a day off. And the reason there's going to be a day off is because January transfer windows take bloody forever. With all the transfers going on, with all the players moving around, the game just doesn't like to whiz through things. Anyway, since you were last here, we've played 2 games and 2 good little wins. Of course, last episode, a huge episode in the context of, I guess, really determining how the season might play out. But wins against Bayern Munich and Manchester United set us on a very good path. And, well, against Fenerbahce, a 3-0 win. Remy Chalet, the man who we just talked about, getting the opener in this game. A 3-0 win, though, away from home. A good little performance. It was great to see Sami Tunnel also getting on the score sheet. All the Frenchmen scoring in the starting, first half of this game here. And then after half-time, Andre scored from the penalty spot. Of course, we already knew we were through in this competition. Morrigan was given the nod to play in goal. And to be fair, he got a 7.1. He kept a clean sheet, so more power to him. And while the power, it kept surging through us as we went into a game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. A 4-0 away win. It started very well for us. Claudio Holman scoring in the 2nd minute, and then Vincent scoring in the 10th. And, well, from there, you wondered how embarrassing could this get for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and the answer was, well, not very until the last 10 minutes. So, yeah, from 2-0 up after 10 minutes, 2-0 up after 80. However, in that last 10 minutes, as they tied, Kaiser got one, and then Andrei Shvetsov got on the score sheet. Of course the Russian did. But yeah, he added another to his goal-scoring collection. That takes him to 17 league goals this season in 14 appearances, of which 2 are on off the bench. Yeah, it's fair to say that he is still in red-hot form for us, and hopefully we're going to see more of that form again today. So yeah, as I said, 2 games coming your way. We're not going to cut out the fluff in between. There's going to be a bit of a more rambly nature, I suppose, to this episode, making it a little bit longer. I'm sure we'll talk about a few of the goings-on and off the pitch as we encounter various bits and pieces. But anyway, in terms of the team for today's opening game, as I said, Remy Chalet going to be given the nod. Remy, show us what you can do, my friend. You're holding out one of the big world global superstars of football in this Football Manager universe. Hopefully he's going to be able to, well, put in a good little performance for us. Elsewhere, though, the team is kind of the squad you would expect at this point. It's a squad which, I mean, let's be honest, it's very, very good, isn't it? I mean, you can see here, Mike Frost has 16, Shvetsov has 22, Norman, 8 goals, 8 assists, which in 19 games, I'd consider beyond adequate. And Holman, what a season Claudio Holman is having. 5 goals, 4 assists in the league. He is looking absolutely nutty. Maybe he's going to continue to look nutty as we get into today's first game. Away from home, never easy. We are playing Frank Lampard's Chelsea. Yes, he is still their manager. He has still not moved away. He has still served them longer than we have served Towlaw. Looking at their team, they've got Moriba in at centre mid. Big player to keep an eye out for, I think, is Hendrik Bittner. Of course, the German international, a player who we're fairly familiar with. I mean, he's good, but he is no Mike Frost. That is that the bench mark is set very high, isn't it, by Mike Frost? Elsewhere in the team, you can see they've got Daniel out on the right, one-time Ballon d'Or winner a few years ago now. Moriba, we've also already talked about. Vial in goal for them is actually a very good keeper. So, yeah, he's got 77 caps for France. Not too bad for the 31-year-old. Hopefully he's got a bit of a clanger in him today. But anyway, let's get into this first game. Let's get a win. Chelsea, they're going strong. You know, they're 6th place, and away from home, it's never going to be a freebie. But if we really want to win the title, especially with how Manchester United are playing this year, this is the kind of game that we need to win, and hopefully win it fairly comfortably. I feel like we've got the quality on the pitch to do it. Let's see if we can actually bring that quality to the pitch, though. Yeah, it's weird, right? I feel like for all but the Coventry game this year, we've really just stressed and really displayed our superior class against various opposition. I'm bigging us up like this, and we're about to give away a penalty, aren't we? Well, 30 seconds into this game, this might prove to be a good game to come and live-com, because we might need to fight back from behind, but Smoljo in goal has a chance to, well, change our minds, and I thought he was going to get there. I thought he was going to get a hand to it, but Mael Millet tucks it into the bottom corner. Did Smoljo get a hand on it? He went the right way. He got down there relatively quickly as well. It was a very, very good penalty. Yeah, he got a fingertip to it, but in off the inside of the post. And as the commentator says, a nightmare start for Towlaw. That is a bit of an understatement. I think it's time to get shouty after just 10 minutes. Going a goal down, never ideal. Especially in this kind of game where we know it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. I don't want to over-dwell on things, over-analyse stuff. They scored from a penalty at the end of the day, and while we are on the attack here, Kaiser's picked up a booking. He has got to be a little bit careful. Vincent going strong, cuts inside, Holman dispossessed. Falls to Norman, options in the middle. Frost is one of them. Holman's there as well. And well, Claudio Holman, add another goal to your scrapbook, my friend. He is doing absolute bits at centre mid for us. He has looked really, really good this year. I did notice in the top left that Manchester United are 2-0 up against Southampton already. So with that result, they would go ahead of us. Right now, we are neck and neck, having beaten them. But yeah, we need to keep winning. And, well, they're winning their game. We have to win this one, otherwise we are going to drop down to 2nd place, and that is not where we want to be in this title race. I do feel like what Manchester United have done must be unsustainable. I refuse to believe they're going to be able to have as good a second half to the year, and well, we may well be praying that they can't have as good a second half of the year, because Mael Millet, he's turned up with another. He's playing out on the left. He's got the number 9. I assume he's a striker. Yeah, he is. I mean, look, he's pretty good. He's inconsistent, but of course the one day where he comes in and performs at his peak is the game against us. And, well, just to rub salt in the wound, Manchester United 3, Southampton 0 after 27 minutes. But yeah, Daniel whipping it in, and that is just a case of Mateus Aurelio not tracking his man. Smoljo, I don't think, can get any of the blame there. He's got across his goal as quickly as he can. Going to get a little bit shouty here, but it may all be a little bit in vain. We've got another highlight. It's a throw-in in our half. I'm getting nervous, everyone. Chile, don't do a stupid red card tackle. That is not what we need right now. I had enough when we had the one against Bayern Munich. And well, Frost has won it well here, bringing it forward, marauding forward, options left and right, goes on his own. Oh my, I thought he'd scored. I thought he'd scored an absolute worldie. Unfortunately, he smashed it just wide of the post, but, well, what an incredible goal it could have been. We're going to try and press from the off here. Chelsea keeping the ball in play after a questionable clearance, but Remy Chalet under it with the ball. Now with Kaiser, who dinks it forward to Frost. Options in the middle, but goes to Mateus Aurelio, who's on the overlap. His defensive mistake cost us for the second goal. Need a comeback performance by Aurelio. He's lurking out on the right. So is Frost, though, and oh my word, Remy Chalet gets an assist, justifies his inclusion. 2-2 after 32 minutes, everyone. I did wonder, were these the two games to come back in LiveCon? We talked about it last episode, I wasn't sure. Off the basis of the first 30 minutes of this game, I'm going to say we made the right call. Questionable defending, they leave Mike Frost open, a driven low finish into the bottom corner. He wheels away, and well, it's goal number 17 for the season. Imagine having 17 goals, around the start of December, and that not being enough to make you the highest goal scorer in the team. We demand high standards here at Towlaw. Anyway, at the break it's 2-2. I have noticed Manchester United are 5-0 up against Southampton. Southampton, mate, Could you do something for us, please? Or Manchester United, can you stop? Please, they're already dead. Right, I'm going to tell the boys I'm far from pleased. It's not been good enough. Kaiser on a booking scares me. I'm just going to bring in Gautier. We can play him a deep line playmaker. He's absolutely perfectly suited to it. In fact, you can make an argument that he's better at deep line playmaker. When I was looking at shuffling around the team to bring in Chalet, one of the options I looked at was dropping Kaiser. And then I came to my senses and realised I was suggesting that I should drop Kaiser and that might be a bad idea. But no, Gautier, top quality player, very capable of coming in this kind of game and performing. And while with 20 minutes left, it's been a quiet second half. For all the action in the first half, time here is just trickling away. We'll get shouty, but with 10 minutes left, we're going to need a heroic performance from someone. And as soon as we switch to attacking, a highlight begins. That scares me, and it should more than scare me now because they've scored from a set piece. Antunes with the goal, and I mean, it's a little bit annoying, isn't it? To concede from a penalty, to concede from a set piece like this one. He leaps highest. He doesn't... I mean, he's a great header. Smolio's a little bit in no man's land, but to be fair, those kind of headers this year in Football Manager, they're just kind of a thing that happen from free kicks, and you can sign all the tall players you want. You can try and customise your set piece defending. You can't really actually do a great deal about it if the ball is aimed to the back post like that, unfortunately. What we can do, though, is stop them scoring from open players. They are going to bring the ball forward. If it gets to 4-2, it's game over. And, well, I was going to say the unbeaten season will well and truly be over, but it is already over, Jack. You've lost to Coventry. Anyway, they're bringing the ball forward here. Marchand tucks inside, hits the woodwork, though, and it bounces clear. A bit of a let-off for us. I've got to go very attacking, haven't I? We've got 2 minutes. Who do you bring on with 2 minutes left for a goal? I'll tell you who you blooming bring on. You bring on Turnbull, and you bring on Cancina. You go for the double. Yeah, we're going to go with that, I think, as Aurelio brings it forward. Gets fouled? I mean, it's not in a non-dangerous area here, is it? But it does amount to absolutely nothing. And time is just trickling away. Disappointing, but probably deserved on the face of it. We didn't create enough. We didn't make enough of our chances. Smolio made 10 saves, so for as much as people will throw him under the bus, perhaps for his positioning on one of those goals, I'm not gonna blame him too much, to be honest, because Football Manager and goalkeepers, right? They do just sometimes do weird stuff. Unfortunately, that result means that we do lose top spot, which puts even more pressure on us for this next game against Arsenal, who are, well, you can see here, they're down in 4th. Did they just slip up? Or did Liverpool have a game in hand? They did just slip up. In fact, look at their recent form in the last 3. They are without a win, are Arsenal. They were predicted to finish 7th. They've got Darren Ferguson, of all people, as their manager. That makes me feel a little uncomfortable. But, no, we weren't good enough there. I will hope that we can turn things around as we go into a game at home. One thing that I've definitely experienced this year in Football Manager is home advantage being a lot more significant than I realised. If you've been watching any of the Streamer Showdown, which if you're sat here thinking, what is the Streamer Showdown? Essentially, it's a group of streamers. They do a draft on one day and then a knockout tournament and league format over a weekend. I'm hesitant to call it competitive Football Manager, but it's basically what it is. It's all streamed on Twitch. I will, well, hopefully be in a few more. I was in the most recent one, which was number 4. But yeah, in that competition, basically, there was home and away advantage. And what people realised very quickly was the games needed to be played at neutral venues because the home and away advantage was absolutely massive. Anyway, I'm going to ask Wolf to sack his agent here because apparently that's a thing. I mean, Wolf here at 19, he's got incredible pace, but that's about all he's got. But he is English and he did come through our academy, so it's kind of one of those weird ones where he's never going to be good enough to play for us, but on the off chance maybe he becomes good enough, do I just keep him around? Do I look to sell him on? It's not often that we get homegrown talent like him that comes through, and I don't really want to have it rot away on the bench, but equally, I don't really want to have it playing at another club and coming back to haunt me in a bizarre way. The good news is that we don't really have a shortage of homegrown players, so yeah, it's not too big of a concern for me, at least at the moment, bringing through players like him. In fact, if we just have a quick peek at the homegrown at club players, you can see here that we've got more than enough homegrown players, including Smolio, of course. And we've also got a few waiting in the wings, including Alex Boyo, who's actually going to be homegrown at club come December. So halfway through this year, another one to add to the collection. And Ben is also due to hopefully become homegrown at club. I will say Ben this year hasn't played a lot. I feel awful for him. I may well end up loaning him out. He's a very, very good player, and at 19 he's absolutely superb, but I mean, the sad reality is, right, you have a player like Ben who's this good. I mean, look how good he is at 19. Then you look at him in the pecking order and realise he is the 8th best centre mid, allegedly ahead of Matasovic, which I just wouldn't agree with. I would say Matasovic is just a better version of Ben, just a bit more complete, a bit better defensively. So yeah, for as good as he is 9th best in the team. And that's the reason he doesn't play any football at the moment. I mean, I kind of feel like shrugging my shoulders and saying, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Sure, at 19 I can continue to play him to show his potential, but it's not like the centre mids taking his spot are like significantly older, you know? They're all in their 20s, they're all in their primes for the most part. Anyway, we've got this game against Arsenal. In fact, it's the lunchtime kickoff, which I kind of love and I kind of hate. I'm going to make a few changes, though. I'm going to take out Vincent, who's been in some good form, and I'm also going to take out Aurelio, I think. We're going to give Alex Boyo a nod at right wing-back, a player who has done some really, really good stuff on the training ground so far this year. Just wondering if I want to make any further changes. You know what? I'm tempted to take off Norman. I'm tempted to take off Norman and bring in Cancina. Is that a mad idea? Am I going crazy? I mean, when you compare them like that, it kind of feels like it. Right, sorry, Claudio's got his hopes up and now I'm changing my mind. I'm all for rotating the team, and as you can see by the fact that a player like Cancina has got 8 starts and 9 sub-appearances, he does play in the rotated team. This is not the game to rotate our team. We have to beat Arsenal in this game here. It's a huge opportunity for us. Manchester United are away from home against Tottenham as well, so an opportunity there, hopefully, for them to slip up. Although Spurs aren't the most formidable of opposition. In fact, as you can see here, they're down in 12th right now. But if I've learnt anything from Football Manager, and I'm sure if you've learnt anything from Football Manager, the team in 12th is usually more tough than the team in 2nd or the team in 3rd. I say all that knowing that we are about to play the team in 3rd, which is Arsenal. They're going to be playing a 4-4-1-1 here. And of course, our former man is playing for them. Leskinen. How has he done so far for them? He's got 1 goal and 1 assist, a 7.1 rating. That is lower than at any point during his Town Town career. Yeah, I mean, I feel awful seeing him there. It feels, I don't know, I feel like I've been just browsing around Facebook and an ex-girlfriend has just popped up on my feed and I have no control over it. Hopefully today we're going to be able to show that girl what she's missing out on by absolutely, well, I was going to say destroying her, but that doesn't really work for the analogy. But hopefully we're going to spank Arsenal here and show Leskinen that he should have stuck around. I say that knowing that I forced him out the club, but I mean, he could have got better, I suppose. Get good, Leskinen, is what I'm saying. Schumacher in, Frost header. That is awful goalkeeping, but we'll take it. I love the fact that Elias Schumacher, the centre-back, is the man who drifts into a wide position there to whip the ball in and actually puts in a really good ball. Mike Frost with his 2nd goal in 2 games, and with that, we're top of the league, everyone. We're top of the league. Of course, with this, well, with any kind of win here, we would go ahead of Manchester United on goal difference, and they have a game in hand against Spurs, which is coming up later today. I will try and remember to continue forward through that result so we can see how they get on head-to-head against Tottenham. But anyway, just looking at things here, with 20 minutes gone, we've been by far and away the better team. Arsenal having slightly more of the ball, but not really making a great deal of it. Hopefully we can just continue in this vein of form. I'm going to get a bit shouty with the boys, demand a little bit more. But to be honest, the only thing missing from this first half performance is another goal. We've been miles better than them. Arsenal only been able to muster up 1 shot on target and 2 shots total in that first half. I am sat in perpetual fear that that's not going to be enough. It's a feeling that I have, I suppose, off the back of what we've experienced this year against Coventry, where, I mean, you can dominate a game all you want, but it's very possible for you to get caught out on the break at least once. Anyway, we've got a throw in here. Sammy Tunnell in front of the gazebo, goes to Holman, back with Sammy, on for Vincent in this game, puts it into a dangerous area, but it's headed away, and now it's with Jarno Leskinen, wearing the number 14 shirt. Schumacher, though, 1 assist to his name already, and now a huge header for us. Tunnell, the Frenchman, can he outdo his man on the wing? He cuts inside, he hits it. The keeper parries it, though. It's going to go for a corner. I thought Mike Frost was there, going to sniff around and get the rebound, but unfortunately, the keeper got just enough on it and diverted it away from his goal. Although Shvetsov near post, Menzi. I'll tell you what, Menzi is earning his wage at the moment. He's made 8 saves in this game, or 7 saves. He did concede one, which did look pretty bad on his behalf. Anyway, looking at the average rating, Shvetsov's not had a good game. I'm going to take him off. I know that's going to be very unpopular, but we're going to bring in Turnbull. And I'm also going to bring in Matasevic, I think, for Remy Chalet. I'll be honest and say the wing-back switch of Boyo and Tunnel, at least at this moment in time, doesn't really look like it's worked in terms of they're not putting out superstar performances. Equally, they've not really put a foot wrong so far defensively, so I can't blame them too much. Anyway, speaking of the devil, Tunnel, show us that I need to keep faith in you. Cheeky little pass, little back heel, back to him now, whipped in, Turnbull, back to Tunnel. What is this build-up play? Tunnel with an effort. And he smashed it into the side net. Didn't even hit the target. Sammy, I thought he was going to add a goal to his collection. Maybe it's now Alex's turn out at right wing back to show us what he can do. He's cutting inside. Options are there. Dinks it to Tunnel. From one wing back to the other. He cuts inside. He hits it. Should have passed it. Didn't. But Turnbull is there for the rebound. It's on his noggin. And I mean, it's a sight that the Towler faithful will never get bored of seeing. Is Dylan Turnbull being a little fox in the box. He's just alert and alive to everything. I felt like Sammy Tunnel should have passed this, but in good old Football Manager fashion, he went goalwards, but the ball, very fortuitously for us, landed just perfectly on the head of Dylan. For him to nod it goalwards, to make it 2-0, and that should be all she wrote. A good little performance here. We've got one last change in our back pocket. I'm going to bring in Austin at deep line playmaker for Kaiser. You can see here, changes being made by Arsenal, but it's too little, too late, Arsenal. I'm sorry. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. Go to jail. You are not going to be catching us at the top of the table this year. 2-0 win. You absolutely love to see it. And, Arsenal were already where they belong, but they remain where they belong. They are in 4th, but to be honest, they are in danger now, being caught by 3 teams trailing behind them, very close. One of those teams is Coventry. Yes, Coventry, who beat us, to be fair to them, but are currently predicted to finish bottom. Dean Smith, working absolute miracles. This is the 4th year in a row that Coventry remain in the Premier League. They've been the favourites to go down every one of those seasons. Just an exceptional job being done there. One of the best AI manager performances I may have noticed in Football Manager. I say noticed rather than I've ever seen, because I'm sure that there is stuff that has happened in this database and indeed in other save games I've played that I've never really noticed. I don't know if you guys have ever had it where you're playing for a Football Manager save game and then you notice something that's a bit odd, maybe a transfer, and you kind of go, huh, that's weird, and you think it must have happened recently and it'll be something that happened 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I feel like sometimes I'm late to the party with noticing stuff within my save game. Anyway, I haven't seen the United result yet, but the fact that Tottenham have sacked their manager leads me to believe that Manchester United probably won. Indeed, they did. A 1-0 victory, so not the most convincing of performances. Elsewhere, you can see here, Chelsea got a win over West Brom. The Merseyside derby is going on. Manchester City have now won to go up into 3rd. Oh, rather, they were in 3rd. Liverpool have now won. They're back in 4th. You can see they are 16 points off Manchester United and 13 points off us. I don't want to say it too prematurely, but with 2 games left until the halfway mark in the season, it does feel very much like a one-horse, well, not a one-horse race, a 2-horse race. If it was a 1-horse race, that would probably mean that Manchester United are running away with it. But, I mean, right now, we're 3 points behind them. I'm not going to panic. As I said, I really just, I don't see a world in which this Manchester United squad is going to go through the entire rest of the season only losing 1 more game, you know. It's pretty rare in Football Manager to see the AI go unbeaten. It's even rarer to see them do as well as they are doing right now. They are absolutely superb. They've not put a foot wrong other than against us. I am just going to be sat hot on their heels, desperately hoping that they slip up, and desperately hoping that in the coming months we are not going to slip up and give them, you know, a bit of breathing space. I want to keep hot on their heels until the very end and will hopefully overtake them sooner rather than later. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. In terms of when we're going to be back, I'm not going to come back for the Man City game. I know they're in 3rd. I know they're away from home, and I know it's a fairly big game, but I don't really want to go for just a couple of days for another game. It's only really in the last couple of game weeks that they've really risen up the ranks, Man City. Looking a little further ahead, you can see we've got Watford, Sheffield United and Southampton, games that we should be winning. To be honest, I've got a keen eye looking ahead to January. We may even do the game against Aston Villa as a little bit of a stopgap, simply because Aston Villa, a team who have a few players that we're familiar with. They've got Nico Roth as their key player. They've got Palazzolo up front as well. Be nice to see a few former Townlaw favourites, I suppose, play against us and see what they are all about. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Thank you so much for your support on the series, as always. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. As a quick little reminder, as I said, may not be an episode tomorrow. If there isn't, I hope you enjoy your weekend, or at least the start of it. We'll be back again the next day for sure. If you're watching this in the distant future, ignore those dates, ignore those days. I hope you have a fantastic Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday, wherever you may be. And, well, yeah, that's going to be all from me today. It is me, Jack. I will see you guys again very, very soon. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.